I'm Diana Iannarone, and I'm the founder of Red Thorn Solutions. And I created that company because I believe that people need help sometimes getting the thorn out of their side, so to speak, and finding their way to a happy life. I think it's important to recognize that one of the terms I use a lot is no one holds your lifeline. And to interpret that, what I mean is you get to decide what it is you want to do with your life on your terms, under your conditions, and you don't have anyone actually holding your lifeline to control you. But that doesn't mean that you don't feel like you have people holding that lifeline to control you. But I'm suggesting that's an illusion, that the life you want could be created, but it's going to take a lot of courage and perhaps some effort in order to do it. So when I say no one holds your lifeline, that could be a boss, that could be a partner, that could be a friend, that could be a parent, but that they don't really have authority over you anymore. I mean, certainly in a work arena, you have certain protocols you have to follow and so on. But the bottom line is you get to decide what it is that you want. And I guess that's what the live free part of wake up, stand up, live free is about living life independently on your terms. So one of the other ideas is that we are whole and complete within ourselves. So we are not a half looking for the other half. We don't need the rest of us. We are whole and complete by ourselves. But a lot of us don't feel that way. In fact, a lot of people feel lonely or depressed or like there's something wrong with them because society says if you're not in a couple, there's something wrong. I don't believe that. I think it's wonderful to be in relationship, but I think it's also wonderful to be whole and complete within yourself. And so that's all part of the growth process that makes it possible for no one to actually hold your lifeline, because you know you're going to be okay no matter what. And that's really the ultimate goal, is to know that you're going to be okay no matter what. Now, once we've been in situations that have harmed us, then we tend not to trust and we keep things at arm's length, and we don't want to cast ourselves fully into a situation. But all that's doing is denying us our own fulfillment, denying us our own opportunity to be all in and fully embrace a relationship. So to me, no matter how many times you've been hurt, it's okay to keep being open to it. But over time, not to being hurt, but to relationship. And over time, if you're wise and you step back, you'll be able to see the lessons that you've learned. And from the lessons that you've learned, you can then trust yourself. And when something doesn't feel right, if you know no one holds your lifeline, then you'll be willing to let go. Ooh, let go. It's okay. I think ultimately, whether we want to admit it or not, all of us pine for this really intimate relationship. And to have an intimate relationship, I believe it requires transparency. Transparency, as if you're see-through, and everybody can see what you're feeling, what's hurting, what feels wonderful. That's transparency. But you want to talk about a courageous life. That's transparency. To be able to say what you feel, to be able to not worry about the outcome of what it is that you express. And I've used this term endlessly. To really feel love is to be vulnerable. Vulnerable is about disclosing your wounds, disclosing your dreams, disclosing yourself, fully transparent. And it does take a special kind of person to embrace somebody in their vulnerability, to offer compassion inside their vulnerability. And I've had a lot of people say this to me, and men, you can rebel if you want. Well, you can't be vulnerable. You have to accept that you can't get that from a man. You can't expect them to be vulnerable, and you can't expect them to embrace you in their vulnerability. I say bullshit. I don't believe that at all. It makes it seem like our world is filled with shallow and no depth in an entire culture. I don't believe that. I believe that most people have the capacity to embrace people in their vulnerability. Most people have the compassion. It's only those that don't have that capability that may not have that kind of consciousness, that those might be the people that you're not going to be in that relationship with. But that doesn't mean they don't exist. So I believe being transparent, being vulnerable, disclosing yourself is the way to have an ultimate feeling of complete joy. And when you do that, not everyone can handle it. That part is true, man or woman, doesn't matter. Not everyone can handle it, but that's okay, because if you know that no one holds your lifeline, and you're not attached to outcomes, and you're just showing yourself and revealing yourself as you are, then whatever happens, happens, because you're whole and complete by yourself. So basically, the thing that I wanted to emphasize today is that lots of times people don't go back out and don't try again because of fear. Fear is not the way to live your life. Fear is what is that? False evidence appearing real. Fear admits your distrust of yourself. Because if you trusted yourself, what is there to be afraid of? So truly, I believe that whole and complete means that your life can be completely fulfilled, whether you're on your own or you're in a relationship. I also believe that to be alone and be happy, there's things that have to happen. You know, where are your hobbies? What do you do? What do you love? What is your passion? Have you investigated all of that? Don't have such an external locus of control that you're out there thinking something out there is going to complete me, and instead have an internal locus of control and say, what makes me happy? And I believe the more you develop what makes you happy, the more you develop what your passions are, the more you develop what you desire for your life, the more on the path you are to receiving all that. Because you're going to be open and ready, open and trusting, instead of fearful. You can't have a scarcity mentality about life and create an abundant life. It's just a complete contradiction. In order for us to manifest what it is we want, we have to be congruent. Our beliefs, our vision, our actions, they all have to be congruent. If we've got this sort of disjointed energy, how are we going to do it? We're in conflict with ourselves. We can't be in conflict with ourselves and get where we're trying to go. So I kind of jumped around, but the real purpose of why I wanted to do today was, number one, to say, no one holds your lifeline. So you can create the life you want. It doesn't mean you can't be in relationship while you do, but nobody has to control your direction. You get to decide. You might feel like you don't have the financial means or the energy or the help, but all of that can be changed with a devoted effort. So one is, no one holds your lifeline. Two is, go all in. Whatever it is you're going after, go all in. Don't keep arm's length, don't hold back. And pay attention to those little promptings that tell you, no, whatever, and trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more safe you feel in the world. The more wounded you are, the more afraid you are in the world. And fear won't get you anywhere good. So be open to looking inside yourself and seeing what's there. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be transparent. And know that if anybody doesn't honor you in that space, move on without them. You deserve to be honored. You deserve to be loved. You have the ability within you. And I truly wake up every day with the intention to help as many people as possible get to that place where they could feel the sense of the life that they want is starting to unfold. I don't even like to use the word want, because that suggests you don't have it. But in other words, that you can create whatever it is you want, whether it's a business ambition or a personal relationship or just a happier life, by engaging with yourself, turning inward rather than outward, towards looking what everybody else is doing. Just go inside yourself. And I encourage you to do that. I'd be glad to help you. I do offer a free consult for anybody who would like one. The best way to arrange that is to email me at Diana, Diana, at redthornsolutions.com. Again, our premise is wake up, stand up, live free, which means first you have to wake up to what it is that isn't working in your life. Then you have to stand up to decide to take action. And once you take action, once you move in that direction, then you start to actually live freely, no longer under the strings of a marionette. because that's an illusion. It's just not true. I am the author of a book. Excuse me as I reach down to get it. Me and My Shadow, Move from Fear and Control to Love and Freedom. And this will help you on that path to creating the life as you desire it on your terms. My phone number is 631-886-1094. You certainly can call, but the email is a better way to get me so we can get you on the schedule. And you could detail as much as you'd like in your email. And everything, of course, is confidential. And go out there and go create the life you want. You can absolutely do it. Okay. Have a great day.